NASA says think about terraforming Mars, create an atmosphere, export our cars, so we can start moving out in about 200 years. Leave the earth behind, our failures, the tears.
So good evening, everyone, and we're just so delighted to see such a wonderful turnout tonight to what we're calling a Share the Facts by some very concerned citizens of Southgate. Wait till those shares all get settled. So if you're embarrassed people a little, it's not good, but okay, thank you. For those of you whom I haven't taught, or whose parents I haven't taught, or whose grandparents I haven't taught, my name is Audrey Oldfield, and I was born and raised in the former Croton Township of Swinton Park, Swamp College Way. I attended Dundalk High School and went off to Teachers College, and I taught in Toronto 3 years before I married Gordon Oldfield, who was from Melanchthon, and we spent all our married life on the west back line of Melanchthon Township. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's just the extension of Ida Street. So we've been very close to Dundalk all the time. My first experience dealing with council was way back in February 1966, when I found myself standing up in front of County Council, Dufferin County Council in Orangeville, and trying to explain to them why it would be better for the Melanchthon kids who lived within a 3-mile radius of Dundalk to come to Dundalk School instead of having to go by bus into Dufferin County. Now, we had great good sense. The two counties collaborated, and our kids were indeed able to be involved in the Dundalk schools. I have ended my teaching career in the profession in administration in Dundalk, and I found then, as I'm sure you all know, we have wonderful kids, we have extremely supportive parents, and we have a fantastic group of volunteers that keep Dundalk together. I've always supported and promoted Dundalk. I'm happy to say that I'm from Dundalk, and I care about what happens to Dundalk, and that's the reason I'm here tonight. It was with concern that I read the article in the Old Sound Sun-Times about the meeting at the McIntyre Building on September 1st, which I hadn't been able to attend. And I decided that I'd been very negligent about reading material which had been printed, or else there was a lack of transparency somewhere in the information that was available. So I asked questions, and I found out I wasn't the only one that didn't know what was going on as far as the Echo Park issue was concerned. I asked more questions, and I really appreciated that our council did make arrangements for me to be invited to attend a tour of the plant in Guelph. And when Mr. Treadwell called and invited me to go, I thanked him and said that, however, since I only have 25% use of my lungs, probably I shouldn't be touring a plant where we know that there have to be some kind of chemicals. And instead, what I'd really like him to do was to find me some place I could go whenever I'm a farm girl. Some place where I could go and stand and watch 5 or 6 trucks go to the plant, hauling this human waste that we understand is involved. And I just wanted to find out for myself what the odor would be like. And that was when I found out that there were no such trucks going to Guelph. There were no such trucks going to St. Mary's. And when I said, does that mean Dundalk's a bit of an experiment? There was no answer. And when I said, what kind of trucks are they going to be? He didn't know. So then I asked some more questions. I was really concerned about what people in Dundalk had been doing, and I found out there was some people who were way ahead of me as far as knowledge. Those are the people that you'll find on the stage. Can you hear me now, Don? Okay. And so tonight, they're going to talk talk to you about what they have learned and where they're coming from as far as expertise is concerned. Now, you all have programs, and you will see the presenters and what they're going to be talking about. There's also a question and answer period, but it's not until the end. And the reason for that is it's so easy for us to get off on a tangent. And we want everybody to hear all the information. And then you will be able to ask questions just of the people on the stage. No one else is expected to answer a question. We don't want a lot of comments, we just need questions. So if you want to jot something down as we go along, you then will be ready when the time comes. So we're going to start off by asking Don Dillman to talk to us, and Don is going to introduce himself.